Hello! I thought I would create a short audio clip to hopefully answer some of those questions that I've been receiving by email in preparation for your formative submission of OTOP 1087. That's the induction first attempt essay that's due on Monday the 7th of October by 11:30 p.m. Now I have emailed out some tips and I've put that onto the Facebook page as well. But the main thing that you need to bear in mind is the essay title. Now it sounds obvious, but let's remind ourselves of the title. Explore the key issues and debates around a chosen factor which impacts upon primary children's achievements and attainment. So we've got quite a lot there to unpack. First of all, we've got the word explore. So we're thinking, what is the essay asking us to do? It's asking us to really find out what are the key issues and debates. So again, we're looking for big themes that are currently spoken about in education, that have been spoken about in the past. So what are the key issues and debates? We're looking at a chosen factor. So you should choose one of the three themes, either gender, ethnicity and race, or socioeconomic status. Now, you're only going to be talking about one of them for your essay, but of course you might touch on the fact that there are other factors and overlapping factors, and that might come out throughout your essay, but really I'm looking for you to focus on one of those factors. Now, how many issues and debates should you talk about? I'd recommend this is a very short essay at only 1,000 words, so I'm thinking maybe 3 themes or 4 themes would be sufficient. It might be that you have an introductory paragraph and then 3 key themes and then your conclusion. It might be that you have an introduction, 3 key themes, a little mini paragraph about strategies to support your chosen factor, and then your conclusion. It doesn't matter, but I'd say it's a very short essay. I'd rather you look at maybe 3 themes in depth than try and talk about 10 themes. Okay? And we're looking at things that impact upon primary children's achievement and attainment. So how are you going to show there's been an impact? I would suggest you need to look at the 2 documents that we explored in one of the final lectures. That was the Closing the Gap report and the Time for Change report. I'd recommend that you need to look at those for evidence of the impact. How are we seeing that there is a difference in how children are doing in their tests, for example? So how can we see that there is an impact as a key word there? And then the last part of the question says children's achievements and attainment. So we've spoken about the fact that you need to, first of all, make sure the reader understands what you mean by achievement and attainment. So up in your introduction, you're going to need to define all these key terms for your reader. Imagine that your reader isn't studying with you at the University of Greenwich, and you need to make sure that they're really on the same page as you. So this introduction of your essay needs to be clear, concise. It needs to tell the reader, what do you define achievement as? What do you define attainment as? Let us know your chosen factor, so whether it is gender, socioeconomic status or ethnicity, and also define that for us as well. And these definitions, of course, can come from your own brain, but it's really good at this stage, particularly at level 4, which is the stage you're writing at, to be finding these definitions in books such as Bartlett and Burton, which was the Core Readings 1 booklet we gave you, or from journal articles. So this introduction of your essay needs to have all these key definitions and also let the reader know what exactly they're going to sit and read for the next however long it takes. So tell us, this is your chosen factor, but within that, these are the 3 key themes, or however many themes you've chosen, that you'll be exploring. Remember, the key verb in the title was explore, so use that in your essay. I'm sure you used to do that when you were at school and college, and it's still relevant now. Answer the question with the answer that makes sense. So we're going to be exploring the key issues and debates. Remember to have a look at your assignment writing guide for estimates of word count. Some of you, though, are emailing me and panicking if your word count is slightly over. That's fine. And remember, this is your first attempt. So if your word count's slightly over, you'll have some feedback from your tutor and you'll be able to revise it so that when you submit your final version, you can make sure that word count is really tight. Remember that it's only 1,000 words, but you can go under or above by 10%. And that's the same on every essay that you do while you're studying with us, apart from your dissertation. But every other essay can go under or above. So you can go down to 900 words minimum. I don't think anyone is going to be going down to 900 words, but it's good to know we can go up to 1,100. Remember, that doesn't include your reference list, so don't count that in your word count. And remember, we're looking for around 10 references. On the subject of references, lots of you have been emailing saying you can't find very recent journal articles or books. You're finding things that are 5 years old, 10 years old. Don't panic. Even the fact you're finding some sources at this level for your very first essay is awesome. So just use those for now, and it can be that when you get your feedback and you have a bit more time to, be sourcing some other journal articles, for example, or books, you may be able to up-level some of the research that you found. But please don't worry too much about that. We say that we like research to be as recent as we can, but it's absolutely fine to use older sources as well. Okay, as long as not everything is from the 1960s, because then we might say, actually, is this a true reflection of the key issues and debates in the current primary school in the UK? One more question that I've had is, can you use an article or a book that is based on studies in a different country? So a couple of you, I think, have found the same article because you're asking me about something that was conducted in the Netherlands. The answer is yes, you can use it. You can use any sources you want. But obviously we know that we're talking about primary education in the UK. So it could be that you would use this piece of work, this piece of research you found based in the Netherlands, but you would acknowledge that in your writing. So you'd say, in a study conducted in the Netherlands, Smith 2019 found blah, blah, blah. That's not an accurate reference, by the way, please don't try and find that. But you can acknowledge that you understand yourself that it wasn't conducted in the UK, but perhaps you want to include it because it adds an interesting comparison or contrast. But generally, we're looking for you to explore the key issues and debates in UK primary schools, and that's why the Closing the Gap and the Time for Change documents are really useful, because they're UK based. So please do find them. They're up in the Moodle page for OTOP1087. The only thing really that I want to end with is just not to worry. We appreciate this is your first essay that you're writing for us at University of Greenwich, so just do your best. My biggest piece of advice would be to please submit something. We did have a few students last year who ended up just panicking and being flustered at the last minute and not submitting anything. And then that means you really don't have any feedback or advice to build upon ready for the submission that actually counts on the 11th of November. So please submit something, okay? It doesn't matter if it's 100 words too long or 200 words too long or you only found 5 references. It really doesn't matter at this stage. This grade that you receive for your piece you submit on Monday does not go on your profile. Okay, it's just between you and the marker, and it'll be so valuable for you to get that grade as a benchmark, to get some feedback, and then you can always go and see your marker to discuss it. It'll be either Bonnie for B1 or me for B2 or Ian for B3, or you can even make an appointment with Academic Skills Team, which is free. You just book it online through the online calendar, and you can just search for that Greenwich Academic Skills. You'll find it on the portal, and go along with them. Print your essay out with your feedback. Take that along as well. So we're all here to support you. My biggest piece of advice would be please submit something on Monday by 11:30 p.m. Remember, the box closes at 11:30 prompt. Please don't be late, because there's no late box for this submission, because there just isn't time to turn it around. But normally for all other essays, you will have a 10-day late box. Although do remember that's capped at 40%. So anyway, good luck, happy writing, don't panic, you can do this, and I know that Ian, Bonnie and I are really looking forward to marking your work next week. All right, take care and good luck.